Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, November 26th, 10 p.m. Mountain Time 2019. The models are in, and your Thanksgiving is going to be a Thanksgiving to remember. Here's your Thursday through Friday morning. Travel will be impacted. Flights are canceled. And the earthquake that happened in Albania has taken the lives of almost 24. Keep calm. It's boom time. Wildfire near Santa Barbara threatens thousands of homes. Rages out of control. The cave fire burning Tuesday on mountains in Southern California has forced as many as 6,300 from their homes. Most have been allowed to return. Do we have this? Can we do it?
Fire exploded overnight. Our Miguel Almaguer is in the fire zone.
Exploding before sunrise, the mountains above Santa Barbara turned into a fireball.
Oh my God.
Some making the harrowing escape to safety as flames surrounded neighborhoods. More than 6,000 people forced to evacuate. For those who refuse to leave, a hose no match for this blaze, reigniting by daybreak.
These are the wall of
Pretty amazing fire.
flames that are racing through this area. They are jumping from.
The fire will be quelched by the winter storm that is coming to California. This can bring over 4 feet to the Sierras. Now, the wildfire burning Tuesday in Southern California mountains north of Santa Barbara forced as many as 6,300 people from their homes. But an approaching storm has offered hope that the flames would be doused, authorities said. Now, the so-called cave fire was a threat to an estimated 2,400 structures. Santa Barbara County Fire spokesperson Mike Elason told KEY-TV. By Tuesday evening, most of the evacuated were allowed to return to their homes. 4,000 of the evacuees were given permission when authorities reduced the size of the evacuation zone. This is because there is weather coming, thankfully. Storm threatens Thanksgiving travel across U.S. Hundreds of flights canceled in Denver. Strong winds could also determine whether balloons will fly at the iconic Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now, that could make or break your children's dreams. An ill-timed snowstorm grounded hundreds of flights in and out of Denver on Tuesday as travelers around the country also braced for bad weather that could interfere with Thanksgiving plans, officials said. 2 powerful storm systems will move through the lower 48 states this week, and we're going to get to those models in just a second. After we talk about the Colorado snow totals, how much snow did Colorado actually get? Well, they broke records. Snow has begun to taper off this evening, Fort Collins, as the winter storm moves east, according to the National Weather Service. A winter storm brought record-breaking snow to Fort Collins. Take a look at this. By 11:30 a.m., Fort Collins had almost 16 inches of snow. Areas of Loveland, 16, according to the National Weather Service. Parts of Timnath reported 12 inches, and parts of Wellington reporting 17.3 inches of the global warming goodness. Now, this is 5 weeks out from winter, our winter here in North America. 14 inches near Prospect and Taft Hill Road, 16 inches near Overland, 13 inches near Drake Road and Shield Street, 12 inches southeast of Fort Collins, and so on and so forth. Wow, this is going to be the top 3 daily snowfalls ever for November in Fort Collins. Are you picking that up? Cold front to bring 20-degree drop in temperatures after record highs in Texas, the nexus of the Schmexus. They will be freezing their off in the morning. Hello. Bomb cyclone. Winter storm will hit U.S. as Thanksgiving nears. Forecasters warn. Diamond warms the bomb cyclone will turn into a nor'easter of the beaster and will hit the northeast, bringing up to a foot or more of snow to areas that have not even seen the global warming goodness yet. Brutal weather has shut down hundreds of miles of interstates just in time for Thanksgiving travel. It's awesome when I have to make these voices. It's 11 degrees outside, kids, and the fire's going out, so we're going to have to wrap this up. You know it's bad when forecasters urge people to avoid travel before Thanksgiving. Yeah, because They're owned by multinational corporations that mandate you spend billions of dollars to do nothing and to yell at to argue about politics and other dumb shit. Just in time for the busiest travel day of the year, 21 million people are now under some kind of winter weather advisory. A historically strong storm in the west could bring hurricane-force wind gusts, while another powerful storm spreads snow and wind in the Rockies to the Great Lakes. On and on. Impacts from the storms will spread over 2,000 miles from California to Michigan, and they will widen their swath as we check the models. Models to remember, where two powerful storms will make Thanksgiving travel difficult or impossible. A rare Pacific bomb cyclone will turn into the beast from the northeaster, which will bring in December, like a December to remember for the Northeast, will rage in the west, while heavy snow, rain, and wind, severe storms target the plains in the upper Midwest, followed by the Northeast beast. Take a look at the winter storm warnings and watches in over 18 states. Most of these weird yellows are high wind warnings. So blizzard and wind and, it's amazing. Powerful storms creating hazardous pre-Thanksgiving travel for western and central U.S. A powerful storm will continue impacting the Central Plains overnight with a swath of heavy snow, while damaging winds and severe thunderstorms occur on the south side of the storm. Impacts shift to the upper Midwest and Great Lakes Wednesday. The western U.S. is also being impacted by a powerful storm. Heavy mountain snow and strong winds will continue to impact the region Wednesday, quelching those fires in Santa Barbara, thankfully. And as we check the models and move them through, boom! There's that nor'easter coming through, starting December 1st and going up the coast and dumping the most in regions like the suburbs of Philly, suburbs of New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut. Take a look. It looks like New Hampshire will be the winner on this, as well as Maine. It's insane. Heavy snow all the way down through the southern Appalachians, extending all the way into Georgia. Heavy snow covering the entire state of New Mexico, all the way down to Mexico. Arizona, getting heavy snow. And if you look at the totals in the Sierras through December 12th, not only that, those totals go right to there, December 8th. And you're looking at 4 to 6 feet by December 1st in the Sierras in some regions. So the snow season is looking epic in the west and in the east, and it's a month before winter. More E. coli illnesses linked to romaine lettuce. Second time we warned. CDC says 67 people in 19 states sick. Last year, all romaine lettuce was off limits, and it's happening again. What is happening? As crops fail and we have to grow food indoors, it's being tainted by the water they're using, by the way. Now, $10,000 prize for evidence that carbon dioxide causes dangerous global warming. This is big news, kids. Big news. For all of you alarmists out there and the 98% of consensus scientists, hello. Big opportunity coming out. A prize of $10,000 named in the honor of late Professor Augie Hour has been offered, and I made a video earlier tonight, so go watch it. It'll be linked below. Woo! It's cold in here. Global temperatures and atmospheric CO2 over the last 600 million years show no evidence of CO2 driving temperature whatsoever. Do you see that? Yeah, that's temperature. And you can see here blue is temperature on the planet Earth, dropping way down to the present time. And here's CO2 up in the thousands of parts per million range. Now look at this float. Propaganda is king. There are tens of thousands, if not millions of dollars funding this type of political propaganda to tax your ass on plant food. It's disgusting. It's not only that, it's brainwashing children and creating more mental illness worldwide. Now, if you want more information on the reward and the prize, I'll leave you links to the PDF here, Professor Augie Hour Global Warming Challenge Prize. It tells you how to collect, where to send your information, and how you can suck it. And that's tonight's first boom. There was a prize offered like this about a decade ago. No one claimed it. In the middle of the global warming scare, at least 23 killed as 6.4 magnitude earthquake strikes Albania. Now, we estimated based on prior earthquakes back in 67, 14 were killed and 300 were injured. You're going to imagine as population increases, buildings get older, that more people will be dead. And certainly that's the case. 23 now dead and probably hundreds injured as buildings collapse in countries that don't have building codes. Seismic update. Massive amounts of aftershocks are calming down, but that's not before a major quake to the north, 5.4 in Bosnia, kicked off. So lots of activity and lots of stress being released in this region. That's good news. No other quakes of note. Take note. Worldwide volcano news update. No major volcanic eruptions. Popo puffing to 22,000 feet over the last 24 hours. Hours of powers. White auroras. Let's talk about them. December 25th, 2016. Auroras are usually green. Occasionally other colors like red and purple and blue. Hello, Steve. One color that never shows itself, as of 2016, is white. But that wasn't until December 25th, 2016, when white auroras over Tromsø, Norway occurred. It looks just like a bunch of steam and clouds to me, but boom! Finland, just the other day, white auroras lighting up the sky like the ancients see a curtain or a skirt, or God knows what they thought when they saw this piano in the sky. I wish I was high up in the northern latitudes, taking pictures of this aurora borealis. A white one. Never been reported. First we have Steve, a laser beam of purple into space, and now we have white aurora racing across Finland. Scientists are still struggling to understand new Paisley Bear, which is a grizzly and a polar bear. Do you remember when we reported on hybrids in our front yard earlier this year? A 700-pound blonde-faced black bear called a cinnamon was roaming around the woods. I don't think that these scientists know all the genetics that are actually going on. I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure we know about 1% of anything, but I digress. They're still baffled about the Paisley Bear, as many alarmists are baffled by the facts that grizzlies and Paisleys are continuing to prosper as populations increase in the northern climes. Polar bears are just fine. Supreme Court refuses to hear case involving climate scientist lawsuit. This is a repeal that was submitted by Michael Mann to the Supreme Court, and they said, you could suck it, hockey stick. We mentioned the hockey stick in the other $10,000 prize award because it's just as ridiculous as anything else that you've ever been experiencing. You live in an idiocracy filled with misinformation and hockey sticks. Right up here. I put Al to bed early tonight. That's why you won't be hearing from him. What you are looking at is the infamous Acadian cylinder seal here. One of the oldest and most amazing pieces of history that is not talked about. It's not told to students in school. But almost 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians were well aware of the planets, their position, their sizes. But we just learned how to farm, by the way. And here you see the infamous Zecharia Sitchin, who claimed that the Anunnaki came here to genetically modify us to mine gold so that they could save their planet Nibiru. Well, while I think that most of that story is total bullshit, this Akkadian clay tablet is not. This is the real deal. And this just simply shows that there was an ancient society prior to the flood, prior to the Younger Dryas 12,700 year catastrophe, that had known a lot more than we are taught. Period. You do your own homework. Nestle admits slavery and coercion used in catching its seafood for fancy feast cat food. So all you vegan cat ladies, and I mean, I used to live in the city in West Philly where all of these climate alarmist, vegan, blah, 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 this is what they feed their cats. Slave labor. Hello! My cat eats animals and shit, by the way. Certainly not Fancy Feast. That shit's expensive. Slave labor costs money, yo! 2,500-year-old chariot found complete with riders and horses. And, oh my God. I wonder what the people in Chaco were using on those highways. If you don't think this is advanced technology 2,500 years ago, look at these brass fittings and look at all this. This is like suspension. It's amazing. It's not being talked about. Nothing to see here. It's crazy. I'll leave you links. 2,500 years ago. Scientists find 1 billion-year-old fungi. Earth's oldest. Now, it's estimated this fungi found in Canada is between 900 million and 1 billion years old. And all that time, tens of thousands of cosmic catastrophes, asteroid impacts, and thus and such. Life will find a way, man. Humans have made it for millions of years. Here's the paper, Early Fungi from the Proterozoic era in the Arctic of Canada. Yes, take a look. Many people think fungi are what cancer is, but we'll get to that in another podcast. I just shared this on my Pan-STARRS Comet page on Facebook. Astronomers reveal a new image of the Interstellar Comet visiting our solar system. This one is not Pan-STARRS, but it is in fact Interstellar Comet 2I Borisov, which is already lighting up. I think we're going to have an amazing electrical show between now and 2023. People are going to be jumping off buildings. Jesus will be coming, and the end is near. You'll see it. And if a solar flare happens, oh my God, and the power goes off, good luck. I hope you're preparing now. Stockpiling dry goods and food. 1 to 3 years minimum with seeds and the knowledge to grow them, as well as wild harvest, wildcraft. And dress warmly in layers. No cotton. Cotton kills. A single dose of ketamine might help heavy drinkers. Are you prepping ketamine? I already have like 16 ounces of 5 different varieties of magical, spiritual mushrooms. Those could be very important for psychological problems in the future. But I'm just talking about bullets and beans and rice. And lighters, and batteries, and solar panels. A single dose of ketamine might help heavy drinkers. Anything I can help with the alcoholic problem in the world that destroyed my life and it destroyed tens of thousands of other people's lives, millions. It's the number one killer of families and the number one killer of humans in the modern world. If you could do one thing in your life, it would be to rethink alcohol. All I want you to do is Google it. It's a poison. And then if you're on the fence with cannabis, Google that. Find out how many people die from alcohol, and then find out how many people have died from cannabis, and then get back to me. I've had to block 12 people in the last several weeks that go on a diatribe about the devil weed that is so ridiculous that I don't have a big enough foot to stick up there. Hope you got something out of the video. I try to keep calm most days, and it works out. I'm getting better. Meditation, yoga, exercise. I'm going to be spending more time in my new house. And we're going to be doing these videos a little earlier because it's getting very cold in this studio. 10 o'clock and it's 9 degrees. If anything I predicted is true, it's now colder than it has ever been here in 5 years. Earlier. And if you haven't picked that up, then I can't put it down because you're in a warm place. And there will be warm places, and this is one of them. More water and more warmer. Not only that, we're not near any population density. So when the power goes out, this is the last place anyone will ever get. Period. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Check out our preparedness store. We have new bentonite clay, which is good for cleansing. We have tiny heaters, little buddies that you can use in mobile homes like Alien Allen is doing right outside. He's surviving and thriving in this tiny motorhome I bought for less than $2,000. He said it's too warm. Sometimes he has to open the windows. That's what proper prior planning does. Preparation is everything. Preparedness will save your ass. Like a piece of glass will cut it.